Priya, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm a third-year politics student at Glasgow University. I'm from Edinburgh. I've been on the QM Board of Management for a year. I was a CSR and then I was elected convener of CSRs. So in my time I was a charities lieutenant for 6 months, and then I was also on the Freshers' Week committee for last year.
You said in your manifesto that you have no new drastic ideas. Why is this?
I think people overestimate how much they can actually do in a year-long position, and a lot of the things I want to do are expanding on things that have already been done. I don't want to set too high goals and then I don't live up to any of them. So things like getting more members, I'm not going to be able to do that all by myself. I don't think any honorary secretary will be able to. That's going to have to be a plan that I want to put in place that we can expect to expand over the next kind of 2 or 3 years. So I think we've got a lot of good foundations, but things need to be built upon, really.
How specifically would you encourage more societies to affiliate? And how would you compete with Glasgow clubs that can offer societies a cash incentive?
Well, what I want to do, because a lot of societies right now just use us as a kind of room to do rehearsals and to meet and things like that. So I want to meet with presidents of societies and talk to them about what we could give them that aren't necessarily cash, how we could give them discounts on things, what they want more from us, just things like that really, and seeing what we've done wrong, what we're doing right, what we can do more of. I don't think it needs to be necessarily, oh, well, you can have cheaper nights out at the QM, because as you know, we don't have a regular club night at the moment. But we are currently coming up with a lot of ideas how we can use kudos on Friday nights as mixers for societies and rent that out to them, give it to them for free. So things like that, really.
You addressed making videos and vines to act as a visual stimulant for students to encourage them to become active members of the QMU. Have you specifically thought about what type of content you would feature in these? And how would you advertise the QMU to a variety of students with different interests and lifestyles through videos and vines?
So really the idea is I want to do a kind of series of videos, one about being on board, one for like each committee, and just generally being a member. So because if you go to, say, our events committee, I don't think that necessarily means you're going to be interested in our publications committee, and that's a good thing because we want everybody to want to come for different things. And I just think if we kind of do more funny videos and almost take the mick out of ourselves and get everybody interested, get on Facebook, get on Snapchat, because that's really where PR is going. I mean, I've been speaking to people and the only posters they read is when they're on the back of toilets. Although I do want to get more PR out there in the buildings of the university as well.
Your manifesto places an emphasis on keeping life members involved with the QMU. Why are life members so important?
Well, really life members are important because they connect us to our history. And I'm not just talking about people that were members when we started. Even people that have graduated 4 or 5 years ago, we don't want them to remember the QM as just a building they spent a lot of time in when they were at uni. The building has a lot of history and I really want current members to know that and for it to be something it's a part of. One of the ideas that I don't have in my manifesto, but I will expand upon in hustings if you all come, is that I want us to kind of have like a life member of the month where we can display them in the building, what they've done, get them to come in and talk to us. I also think that older life members can potentially help out members currently. Like we've got people that were like the first female judges in Scotland and they can give seminars, talk about their lives, how they got to where they were, and I think that can be really helpful for students.
You stress the importance of CSRs in your manifesto and how they should be given more of a chance to contribute to decision making and how the QMU is run.
Yeah, I think so. As I was CCSR, which isn't quite as important as, not so much important, but it's a kind of halfway point between being a CSR and being a convener. So when I was on Freshers' Week committee, it was really difficult for me because I wasn't allowed to tell the CSRs about the lineup, but then I had to portray their opinions and it really ended up just being my opinion, which isn't what you want. And a lot of CSRs have really good ideas and they shouldn't have to run for a convener to make those ideas come forward. So yeah, really, I just want them to have more of a chance and things. And this is particularly in Freshers Week, like we have daytime events like speed mating and things like that. And currently it's like the building team that will do that. And I think if we have CSRs that are more aware with what's going on, if they know what projects they're doing, then they can really get them forward and they get the credit for them.
What do you think CSRs have to offer that maybe a higher up board member might not?
Do you know what is? I think CSRs are better at not being so involved in the QM, like, because conveners and exec have to spend a lot of time there because it is like a job. And CSRs have a very important job too, but most of them are parts of other societies. They know other people. They're still really good friends with their friends from halls. And I think they can be quite a good, if we get caught up in our ideas and caught up in being the so-called clique reputation that the QM is getting, they're really good at being like, no, that's silly. That's completely excluding this group of people or this group of people. And I mean, they're most of the people that are on board, so they can give us the most diverse range of opinions, and we need to take those opinions seriously.